What's going on, everybody? So here we are back again with another episode of Out of the Ordinary, where we try to highlight the best details, history, and information about some of the world's rarest cars ever produced. We do so on our social media platforms at Rare Cars Only, where you can read about all of these fascinating cars, the history behind them, the designers that created them, the art, all of the work that went into all of these cars, and just about everything about them. And instead of reading, we decided to take to YouTube with some videos talking about some of the more significant cars that were produced. And we want to do so that our viewers can listen to the stories rather than just read it through everything. And we hope that this serves as a great way to learn about these cars in a different format. Today, we're talking about one of the most interesting cars ever created, hands down. We're talking about the 1989 Ferrari Mythos. In specific, the car shown here is serial number EAG026, the concept car, the same one that was revealed for the first time ever in Japan's Makuhari Messe Convention in October 26th of 1989. Now, if you've never heard of this Ferrari and you're more familiar with Ferrari's modern cars such as the SF90, the LaFerrari, and cars that are even a little bit older such as the 458, then you might want to sit down and learn a little bit more about this extremely rare Ferrari and the reason why it was built in the first place. The Mythos model was designed by Pietro Camardella under the watchful eye of Lorenzo Ramacchiotti under Italian car design firm and coach builder Pininfarina. This car was thought out to resemble the styling of the 1960s dream car era with a more modernized look. The Mythos itself was based on the Ferrari Testarossa chassis, and in comparison, the redesigned Mythos is around 3 inches lower, about 5 inches wider, and 6 inches shorter overall than the original donor car. The Mythos was never actually intended for production, and the current Sultan of Brunei is known to have commissioned 2 Mythos to himself, with one of them being red and the other one being turquoise. It is unclear as to if he has actually more examples of this car or not, but at least 2 of these cars are confirmed to be over there in Brunei in the amazing collection of cars that are housed in those facilities overseas over there. On the exterior of the Mythos, you'll find a number of unique touches, such as an integrated active rear spoiler, large side intakes, and just about all the bells and whistles that you expect to see on a one-off Ferrari supercar, developed almost in secrecy. On the interior of the car, there are 2 leather-wrapped seats. In this example, they happen to be finished in red with 6-point harnesses and integrated headrests. Originally, the Mythos was simply just a styling exercise created by Pininfarina, but unsurprisingly, the car caught the attention of a few curious collectors. One of these collectors was Japanese businessman Shiro Kosaka, who was an admirer of Italian cars and already had owned a number of Pininfarina projects that were developed over the years. After around 2 years of convincing, Kosaka was able to purchase the original Mythos Ferrari concept car that is shown here in this video today. The car was also seen displayed at the Gallery Abarth Museum in the foothills of Mount Fuji before being permanently closed in the mid-2000s. Another interesting group of collectors that was also attracted to the Mythos, as we mentioned just before, was the royal family of Brunei. Now, it's said that 2 or 3 cars actually ended up in the hands of the massive and mysterious car collection in Brunei. We already said that one of them was painted red, another in turquoise, but there's also been photos of a black car circulating throughout, meaning that there actually could be more of these cars produced than we had known originally. The Brunei examples in specific featured conventional side mirrors, a different windscreen, redesigned pop-up headlights, a removable roof, and perhaps some other unique and interesting features that weren't actually shown here on the original red concept car, chassis number EAG026. Now, the Ferrari Mythos, being based around the Ferrari Testarossa, is powered by a 4.9-liter Tipo F113B Ferrari flat 12 engine sourced from the Testarossa model. And for the Mythos 2, it also has a power output of just around 390 horsepower at 4,500 RPM with a power-to-weight ratio of around 308 horsepower per ton. Power is sent to the rear wheels through a Testarossa-sourced 5-speed manual transmission, and the car utilizes a helical collie suspension system with transverse arms on both the front and rear end. While acceleration numbers for the Ferrari Mythos are definitely going to be hard to come by because it's not certain that anyone's ever actually tested this model, the top speed for the car is claimed to be somewhere around 180 miles an hour, which would be absolutely the most impressive thing, being that this car was built in 1989. Now, Pininfarina is not only obviously just known for the Ferrari Mythos, and they have had a number of design projects and vehicles designed by others that they were involved with over the years, with some of the most amazing cars being labeled under the Pininfarina name. Some of these cars include the Ferrari 212 Inter, the Ferrari 212 Inter Cabriolet, the Nash Healey, the Ferrari 375 MM Spider, the Ferrari 250 Europa GT, the Maserati A6, the Alfa Romeo Giulietta Spider, along with a huge number of concept cars and prototypes that the company developed over the years. Really one of the most historic companies when it comes to car design, and definitely one of the best known Italian coach building companies of all time. Now, if you're interested in learning more about the Ferrari Mythos or any of these other cars that we discuss or go into detail with on our social media, you're definitely going to be wanting to follow our social media pages at Rare Cars Only, which can be found on essentially every social media platform out there. And if you really are interested, you're going to want to look for our Mythos article, where we go into detail with vast information about this car and all of the different unique details surrounding the car. All in all, the Ferrari Mythos is truly one of the most mysterious and interesting Ferrari models ever created. It's definitely one of the most eye-catching cars to wear the Ferrari badge, and definitely one of the most interesting cars that has ever been designed and created by Pininfarina. So there you have it, the Ferrari Mythos. It's been around, people have heard about it, but you might not have ever heard the full story about this car. So we invite you to read more about it on our social media pages at Rare Cars Only, where we've gone into very, very deep detail about this car, loads of other Pininfarina projects and concept cars over the years, such as the Alfa Romeo 33-2 Coupe Berlinetta Speciale, and other really interesting Pininfarina cars. So we definitely invite you to check those stories out and read through those as we get around to posting those here to YouTube as well in a video format. So thank you again for watching, and we hope that you enjoy this series where you can learn more about some of the cars that are simply just out of the ordinary.